All right, Dhaval. So welcome. I'm really glad you're here. And this is a testimonial for everyone that is watching my work, website, you, all of this to just sort of see what you've learned. So why don't you just give a little brief introduction to who you are? You do or do not have to say your company name if you don't want to, but just give the listeners a background to you a little bit.
Sure. So my name is Dhaval. I work with Target as a senior director for Last Mile. I've been with Target for the last 2 years. I bring in good 20 years of experience, mainly in retail and e-commerce. So that's quickly my background.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, wonderful. And so tell me then where you were before we got into coaching that maybe inspired the coaching for you.
I think what I was looking for mainly was, how can I basically, kind of untap my full potential? What are the different ways by which I can understand what are my blind spots, right? Also to kind of more of a step back and introspect, right? What things I need to kind of work upon, right? And take an independent point of view as well, okay? So if I look back in terms of, did it really help me in terms of thinking through untapping my full potential? I would say definitely it gave me a window in terms of where I need to head, right? So that helps.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What was our coaching like, just so people get an experience of that?
So I would say it was more of facilitating my own thought process in a way, right? I mean, the way you challenge my thinking, the way we basically went through like understanding example we spoke about, let's say, being present and not necessarily being in future, right? Stuff like that, right? as well, like how to be useful at the moment. A lot of times, like when, let's say I always keep my mind more like ideas guy thinking forward, right? But then I think what allowed me to, when I'm talking to you, is see a reflection, right? Understand, like it is, how it looks like from a different perspective altogether, right? Which was very, very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. What's one thing that we did together that really stuck out for you?
I would say not just one, but a couple of things. But like the first discussion that we had, like, we were talking about how do I get inducted myself into, because at that point in time, like I was 1 year in the Target and trying to kind of get myself, basically acclimatized with Target culture, right? And we spoke about basically, the, what do you call, so-called as the target, I don't call animal, but in a way, the basic, the personality, the traits that the business has, and in terms of, how do I basically adapt, understand, right? And acclimatize myself. How do I become more vulnerable? How do I basically, be more aware of myself, understand what behaviors are incentivized, what is not incentivized, and how do I basically, get along, right? So that definitely helped a lot for me to think through.
Those are pretty big things we worked on there.
So I basically, so based on your coaching, I keep advising people, saying, this is what I learned. I think you should also think through this. Like, target a certain personality. You need to understand, like, if you want to work here, this is how you should do stuff. Like, so yeah, that is helpful. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, great. Okay. And so now tell me where you are now. We're at the end of our engagement. How many hours did we spend, Dhaval? Do you remember?
I think maybe 7 or 8, I think.
We've spent 14.
14? Is it so? 14 hours? Oh, I felt like, okay, the time went fast. Okay. Oh, okay. Nice.
I wish I could stop your face right there. That was awesome.
Okay.
At least you didn't say something like that felt like years. So I'm glad it went so fast.
Okay. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was classic. That was awesome. In the true spirit of who you are. Okay, yeah. And so tell me where you are now as a result of our coaching together.
Yeah, I think it helped me not just from a target standpoint, right? It helped me also personally to think through, what are my blind spots, what I need to do differently. It allowed me to introspect a lot, right? And as you know, like it's just not about target; it's about like me in general. So as you know, my background also like is about startups and stuff like that. And I mean, some things which kind of made me really think deeply based on our conversations, especially last one as well. I'm not saying because of recency effect, but the last one about, we spoke about executive presence, right? And the way you explained that was really interesting, like in terms of just not physical appearance, but it's about like what's really going in there, right? Right? If you are not able to understand the purpose and for which you have been whatever you're doing, I mean, then there's a challenge. Yeah. At the same time, like being present, right? Which is how to be in the present moment, right? And how to basically get the chaos out of your head, and make sure that you focus your attention with complete intention, right? So that was good, and you made a comment saying that in that case you're not useful, and that made me think, oh shit, man, yeah, you're right, actually I'm not useful from that perspective, because if I'm always in future thinking ahead and not necessarily being there, and the people could think very differently about maybe yeah, I mean that was super helpful. Yeah.
I've had an excellent time working with you, Dhaval. I have loved enjoying just poking you to see these little lights go off in your head, and it's really been great to work with. Is there anything else that you'd like to share to give anybody inspiration or thoughts about if they're hiring me, what they should know, anything you'd like to pass along?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that definitely, Amanda, you can get the best out of people. You could be probably the best thing that could happen to people if they take it that way. It's up to them, right? Right. But I think the way I saw that, you made me think a lot, right? And that journey continues. It's not that we stop the engagement, which is a couple of hours, but that made me, put me in a discipline to think myself differently, right? So I do give myself a time now wherein I think about how did the week go. Okay, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? Right? What did I do differently? Stuff like that. But it was liberating experience. So I would say that it is quite self-liberating, and it's completely up to the person who yeah. It goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
Right. So basically, the other party also needs to engage. If you don't engage, if you're not vulnerable, then there's the best outcome is not going to come in for sure.
Yeah, it takes both of us, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I really want to appreciate your time to give everyone else this impact and this amount of work that we've done. It's been a great journey. And so thank you very much. I'm going to stop the recording here. And
thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.